All right, we are back with another episode of Make It Make Sense. I am your host, Bottles and Beers. Today we're going to be taking a look at a fragrance from the house of Vertus called Vanilla Oud. If you're interested in this fragrance, keep it locked. Let's get into it. Pow! All right, like I stated before the intro, we're going to talk about this fragrance from the house of Vertus called Vanilla Oud. This is the packaging. It actually comes in an extra outer sleeve, like such. Uh, nothing fancy. But take that off, and this is the packaging. All right, this just slides off. And I guess it should be like that. And that's what it's in. All right, this is the presentation of the bottle. All right, I'm not one to really dwell on the presentation. It's a nice, hefty bottle, but I can care less about the bottle, in all honesty. It's all about what's inside. So with this one, the name of it is Vanilla Oud, and I will say that is a perfect name excuse me, for this fragrance. What I get with this one is vanilla, lots of caramel, and oud. As far as the oud, I'm not sure if it's 100% authentic oud. It wouldn't shock me if it was artificially made oud, maybe with cypriol or some of that nature. It wouldn't shock me. Now, don't hold me to that because I don't know, but it wouldn't shock me if that's the case with this one. But mainly, this is a dark, very sweet, vanillic oud and rose fragrance. Yeah. Now, when I say oud rose, the rose to me in this one is mainly to smooth things out. There's a lot of notes that's in this one, but mainly what I get is the oud, the vanilla. I do pick up a lot of saffron, caramel, musk. What I'm going to do to get a little reminder. I do get a hint of citruses at the top of this, but not citrus like a fresh citrus. It's more so it gives like a fruity sweetness to contrast with that thick vanilla sweetness, if that makes sense. It gives it a natural sweetness too, because this one is a very thick, dark, resinous style of a fragrance. Not sure if resins is in this, but it's very, it feels almost incensey. So, and that could be in here, but it feels like, again, an artificial oud with lots of vanilla and caramel. That's the main take that I get with this. Now, I do get some patchouli in it also, but the way this is blended, this is a dark, powerful, very powerful, bold statement maker. I could see this being a little too harsh for people. Me personally, I believe that that's where the rose comes into play. Not just the rose. I want to say there's some violet and jasmine in this also. So I would say in all the florals that's in this fragrance is to give it a smoothness and, change it from harsh to a gorgeous style of a fragrance. When you get a grown man calling something beautiful, that's something to trip off of. That's something that should kind of ring a bell. This would be a fragrance that I think a lot of people would say smells good, but it wouldn't be technically for everybody. Some people will be worried about when or where they can actually wear this kind of fragrance. The florals that's in this, to me, changes this fragrance from being just a fragrance that smells good to something I would call a beautiful scent. And that's a bold statement. Does it lean feminine? No, but I can see people thinking with me speaking of florals and vanilla, that would kind of make it seem like it leans feminine. And can women wear this? Definitely, especially if they're into dark fragrances. But the caramel and the oud in this makes it lean masculine just because of the way it was done. It's done in a very dark, smoky manner, almost charred. I don't want to say burnt, but it has a darkness, a dark smokiness to it. Again, could be incense in this, but it does project in that manner. But it is a beautiful, beautiful scent. It's very thick, very rich. It does not wear light, so definitely watch the way you spray this. Now, the cons of this: spray too much, you're stuck with it all day. I actually did that before and I did regret it. Now, at first, early on, I can't say, for one, I'm biased when it comes to vanilla. Vanilla is, as of now, my favorite note. Now, I don't want to stick with that because things can change. I don't feel I experienced enough different notes to really say what's my favorite. But if I was forced to pick, vanilla would be my number one. So with that being said, I am biased. But when I sprayed this, I gave myself 6 sprays. And at first I was enjoying it. Nothing was wrong with it. But as time went on, it never seemed to really calm down. In fact, once my body began to heat up, this started projecting a lot more. In closed situations, this can be headache inducing, which I've heard people say. Now with me, fragrances never, smells or lights and things of that nature don't tend to give me a headache. So I'm not really prone to getting a headache from something too sweet or anything like that. So I wouldn't know, but I can see that happening for people who are prone to, getting headaches from things of this nature. So I would say watch your sprays on this, especially in the high heat. Seasons, this is definitely for fall and winter, hands down. But if worn properly, if worn lightly, 2 sprays is perfectly fine. Once this settles down, I think you can wear this in every season besides summer. This is actually my scent of the day today, but I believe we was at a high of 65 today, so that's not too bad. But in high heat, I would not reach for this unless I'm going somewhere and I'm gonna be in air conditioning or something of that nature. Then it's perfectly fine. But would I be outside in high heats with this? No, guaranteed to be cloning. This is a very thick, a very rich, loud projecting, sort of sticky also. It's not physically sticky, but it has a sticky vibe to it. It's so rich to where that kind of equivalates with it being sticky without physically being that. Again, beautiful, beautiful scent. You have to like sweet fragrances for this. If you do not like sweet fragrances, I definitely wouldn't say blind by this. Probably, I don't want people to blind by anyway, but that's what I do. So in all honesty, I can care less. Do what you want to do. But yeah, if sweet fragrances aren't your thing, then this probably won't be either. I would say if you like vanilla, if you like oud rose combination, if you just like oud, this is a sweet oud. I believe this is something you should definitely get your nose on. Again, by me being biased with vanilla, this is one of my favorites in my collection, but I am cautious on where exactly I wear this to. This isn't an everyday scent. Now, it can be. I choose not to just because of how sweet it is, and I don't want to get tired of it. It's one of those that's so sweet that I think if you overuse this, not saying as far as the amount of sprays, but if this is something that you reach for like every day, I can see you getting tired of this real quick. And One thing I don't want to do is get tired of any of my fragrances, so that's why I like to switch things up. But to each his own. I believe the florals is what's rounding this off to be just more well-rounded, and to give it a nice blend with that caramel and just soothe things out to keep it from being so harsh or overly sweet with that matter. So it does give a lightness to it. The citrus in this, I want to say it's bergamot. That kind of fades. That fades to the back after a good hour or so. But do it completely leave? No. You can still smell the presence of it in the background, and that give it a lighter feel also, because without the rose, without the citruses, I could see this being just a little too harsh, because this was made in a very dark, smoky nature, and maybe that's not what they were reaching for all the way with this. Who knows? So if you like what you hear, try to get your nose on this. I believe this is something that will be liked by the masses, but everybody wouldn't want to wear this themselves on the skin. This is one of those that I believe everyone would say that smells nice on you, but that doesn't mean everybody would want to spray this on themselves. So that's something to think about before purchasing this. But as for me, I love it, and it's one of my favorite ones in my collection. So shouts out to Justin Copeland. He's the first person, he put this on my radar actually, and then I was constantly reminded about it from TLTG Ross. He speaks highly of this, as they should. This is a great fragrance. I believe everyone should at least get your nose on it and see. All right, from the house of Vertus, we have Vanilla Oud. All right, that's gonna wrap things up. Do me a favor, leave some comments if you've ever tried this fragrance. Let me know what you think about it, or if there's any other fragrances that's similar or ones that you just want me to try out. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell to let you know when more videos are uploaded. And with that being said, everyone take care, and I'm out.